Alrighty, so I think you guys know I've been working on this sniper surge, and I have to say it's actually pretty cool. I have many versions of it. I actually like version 2 more than 3, which is odd. So, when I get this published, probably by tomorrow, it's a lot of cool features. You can use the VWAP bias, the GAN proximity, delta, and then it shuts off everything. So if we come down here, then you can, if you want like the best of the best, then you can, you know, click on hedge fund mode. As you can see, that will reduce. You'll lose some signals, but if you want the best ones, you know, that's not too bad actually. We have kind of a fault one here, but so if we leave on, you can just do like A plus, and I'm not sure why that did that. It's probably just curious. I have to figure out why that didn't work. It should work. Okay, yeah, yes, depending on the settings you have, you can have A plus or the hedge fund. If you do both, it doesn't likely do much. The hedge fund is pretty good. You have a fault one there, but that's kind of pre-market. Just go back here in time. There's a couple of whipsaws. Of course. I think I mentioned in another video. Sometimes on these shorts, these whipsaws are kind of brutal. But overall, it's gonna look at that. Look at that whipsaw there. I mean, because you're looking back here, eventually you're probably going to bounce back up, but still, even here, you enter here and look, it just comes right back. And this one, geez, these whipsaws are, once in a while though, it rips, right? That really ripped down. And really, if you're catching at the right time of the day, this kind of gets worse mentality, but still, yeah, sometimes shorting especially these, right? You think you're good right here, and man, you just take brutal. I don't know how you can solve all that. When it's when it does that kind of price action. I guess really, if you go to let's see I'm just curious on a 5 minute, maybe it will help us kind of avoid some of that. Yeah, still even there. If you caught this, or excuse me. So that kind of helps a little bit. If you're on a higher time frame, you're taking less trades. It does a pretty good job there. Again, I mainly care. Oh, ouch! Dang, what time frame is that on? So it did awesome New York this time, and then look how shitty that is. So if let's go back to default. So default settings, then it would have done better than actually the hedge fund and the financial. So retail won out. Oh, that's pretty good actually there. You take the first one, that's not bad. That one isn't good. Again, I care more about what happens in New York. So you get market open. You get some shifty stuff, but overall, you might wait for the open. You might take in this long lost, but then that did really well there. That's pretty cool. Not too bad. What time is it? Yeah, that actually is pretty decent. That isn't good. So if you weren't trading until the open, and then you buy, lose. lose, you know, that one's a losing day if you're just going by the signal. And then you kill it here, as long as you took your profit and get whipsawed. That would, you know, you could have scalped it. Again, that, well, if you wait for the signal, that would be tough. That move right there, depending on how good you are with, well, can't go back in time, can I? But on a regular candle, so on a regular candle, how'd you do today? So yeah, had you, yeah, this craziness right at the open. That's just, you know, avoid this probably. So likely, if you're smart enough, when you see these big candles, and then when you see this kind of happen, you're gonna wait. And if I had the GAN turned on, it might help a little bit. If you waited almost till 10, you know, you can catch a little bit, and then it does pretty well there, and then it misses the entire, well, it gets you in here, and then whipsawed. So that's pretty late in the day. So that's a little disheartening that it didn't catch that. So if we turn off, so that's partly why, because the VWAP is filtering. And then also we have the 4-hour GAN. If we go to the 1 hour, or even the 30 minutes, doesn't seem to be helping, does it? So let's see, we want delta, I think. Yeah. You can just have the dots if you want. You can make them a little bit bigger. So let's see. Just messing around. Let's see how good you can get these dots to print. Sell on red, buy on blue. So there's definitely some pretty good signals there. And then tonight, just sold off like crazy. Catch that one. That's a little sad it's not catching those bounces. Oh yeah, so I definitely have some work to do. Anyway, if I can get some of these, yeah, I got a little work to do, I think. But overall, I think this should be a pretty cool indicator if I can get some things worked out. Anyway, hope you guys had a good Monday. We'll see you later.